Okay, so welcome to our midterm. And as I've said, midterm is supposed to be activity based. No? So all of the artworks here are made by the students. So for the first artwork, let me introduce to you the pointillism. So that's the first activity or artwork that we will be having for the midterm. So let me share my screen to you. So for today, we will be learning what is pointillism and how to make pointillism as an artwork. Then who made the pointillism or popularized the pointillism. So let's start with learning what is pointillism. So it is a technique in painting or painting, and it is to create a solid figure using tiny dots. If you remember the methods on how to create a value, we have their stippling. So stippling is a kind of pointillism that uses dots, no, with two or more colors. You can either use only one color, but to make your artwork more beautiful and more appealing, we use colors. The color from a distance makes to create a new color. You can either use oil on canvas or you can use markers only or colored pens. Often seen as brighter or purer because of the eye mixes the color. Then who popularized the pointillism or developed? It was Georges Ciura in 1886 in France, no, in 19th century, during the post-impressionist movement. So si Ciura ang nag-start gid sang nag-coin gid sang word nga pointillism. He uses stippling, no, as the primary source of his base in his painting, and later on it was developed into colorful dots. Later matanaw-tanaw na ng iyang mga artworks. Who are the other masters of pointillism after Seurat? No, we have here Paul Signac in France also in France, Ingrid Charles, and we have here Edmond Cross Henry. These are the people who are very popular in terms of pointillism paintings. So let's see the artwork of Georges. We have here bank at sign. So we can see here the scenery of the banks. He uses the multiple colors of blue and green. So dere makita ta ang detailed nga pag-pointillism niya sa tao in here nga balsa or gabangka and also the vintas here. And very evident also the trees, no, how he created the trees out of the simple colors and simple dots, no, excessive dots. Another artwork is the bathurst at Asnieres. So ang amuning artwork, it's very detailed, it's very small dots that was used, no. So makita ta ang multiple people gathering in the banks, no, to take a bath. And his famous La Parade. And another artwork from Surat. Surat is popular in making artworks in the riverbanks using pointillism. And Surat's last major painting, the circus, using the pointillism also. Surat has a lot of paintings, not only with the use of pointillism, but there are a lot of techniques that he used, but the most popular technique that he is using is the pointillism, or the use of a stippling. Okay, now let's see how it works. Primarily, the artist uses the base. That base is a model or a sketch. Let's take, for example, this artist. He uses the base as the sketch of the rose. Then later on, he uses dots to create value, so that it would appear like there is a shadow in the insides of the petals of the rose, of the flower. There's a lot of ways when you use pointillism. In here, the example here is very small dots, but you can use bigger dots also, like Surat, no? In La Parade, he uses, I think, um, centimeter dots, no, to create multiple layers of circles. But in here, it's very small dots because the artist is using ballpoints. But it depends on the artist kung anong gamitin, you know. It's either he use the tip of the toothpick, or you use the tip of the cotton buds, no? You can use that also. The stem of the flower, you can, or the plant, you can use that also. You can dip that in the watercolor or in oil base paints. In here, he only uses one color, and that's the black and white color only. So there you have it. You have pointillism of the rose. Now let's take a look at the artworks of the students here. So in terms of the format that you will be using, we will be using this kind of format also. So in here, usually we use Sketchpad. However, I will not be requiring you to use Sketchpad anymore, but instead we will be using only bond papers, a short size, or A4. So I want you to have a margin 1 inch for each sides, and then let's put your name here, just like the example of the student here, and then the title of the artwork, and then beside your name is the artwork number 1 and the date, so that I can take track of your artworks. So the example here, she also uses rose as a base and use colored pens to emphasize the colors of the rose. So that's a good attempt, no? Another example here is a mountain. No? It was the artwork uses pointillism also with a lot of dots to form a mountain and the shape of a moon. And also this one, a lot of dots was used to create the Hello Kitty artwork. So take note of of the format that we will be using. So this is the format that we will be using. You can either do it in landscape mode or horizontal mode. Okay, so I will just simply create an assignment in the seatwork area in the LMS, and that's the the time when you submit your artwork. Deadlines is also in there, so usually I give deadlines 1 week for the artwork. So after this one, you can create already your artwork using Pointillism, and it's up to you any medium that you will use, as long as there is the element of pointillism in there. So just take a picture lang and then upload that in the LMS. So thank you very much, guys, for listening.